Partner of Quantum Energy Partners, a $6.5 billion private equity fund that, as its name would imply, invests in energy plays. Will, yesterday you gave a compelling and interesting presentation entitled The U.S.
What we've had over the last about 5 to 7 years, we've had a huge renaissance in technology being deployed to unlock vast amounts of shale gas in this country.
Fracking.
600 TCF of gas is equal to about 100 billion barrel equivalent of oil. So if we have, let's say, 1,200 TCF of gas that we found in these shale plays, that's equivalent to a couple 100 billion barrels, which is similar to Saudi's oil reserves. And that's why we think of, the United States today really is the Saudi Arabia of natural gas. Well, the biggest, largest new play is the Marcellus Shale up in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and actually New York. And that's probably the largest shale play of them all. If you think about it in terms of size, you can fit most of the other shale plays geographically inside of the Marcellus. That's how big it is. And so, there's lots of ways you can get exposure to that, obviously, through public companies that spent, tens of billions of dollars acquiring acreage in those plays.
But are they going to make money, these companies?
There's a lot of natural gas being produced. Our big concern is there's not enough of an economic incentive to continue to have companies drill just for natural gas. So you've seen the gas rig count in our country drop from 1,250, 1,300 rigs plus down to below 500 rigs here in the last couple of years. But gas production's still up, and the reason it is because there's been all the rigs have shifted over drilling for oil and liquids-rich plays. And the issue is there's a lot of I think longer term, I think natural gas has to be probably north of $4. Internally, we kind of think about natural gas as a $4 to $5.50 commodity. That's a price that's high enough to induce companies to expend the capital to develop the resources, but it's not so high to stimulate the drilling.
There's been some talk about export.
Cheniere, who's actually gotten an export permit, and they're obviously moving down the road. A number of years ago, they actually were trying to import it, right? And so they never really imported a lot of natural LNG. I think we look at it's going to really be a political question. Clearly, there's a lot of gas here, and it would just from an oil and gas company perspective, I think it makes a lot of sense to export it because we're not going to be able to sell it all domestically. But from a political and quite frankly from a national standpoint, we start exporting that natural